What is up, everybody? Welcome back, and today we have a channel update. Now, I haven't done a channel update in almost 2 years. The last one was in July of 2024, believe it or not. And I really wanted to take some time with you guys today to just talk about this verdict channel, this so-called verdict channel, and not just that, a few other conversations. We'll be talking about, the elephant in the room regarding Mystic. We'll be talking about how the content has changed and a few very important things, which we'll be discussing also. And last but not least, I'll have a real life section, which this is actually why I'm making this entire video. And before that, if you want to skip that, I would prefer it, actually, but it's entirely up to you if you want to hear me talk about it. Before we start, of course, the Content Creator Code event is still ongoing. Today is the last day up until maintenance, tomorrow, that is, the regular Thursday maintenance. And please do go ahead and do that. Help me out with this, because there is plenty of content that I'm producing which actually costs me money, and this is what's going to fund it. I'm taking this as a very good opportunity. So now let's just very quick move into the first section, and of course the elephant in the room regarding Mystic, because you guys are watching right now the Seraph grinding with Purgatum on Star's End, an under-geared Seraph that is, compared to what the spot requires. But the reason for which you're no longer seeing Mystic is because this has become my main. I have Scroll of Equilibrium, I don't have a tag anymore, I am basically just playing Seraph and nothing else. A lot of this is because of what happened with the Mystic and the channel in particular. See, I've learned a lot of content creation, and I've learned a lot about the community in Black Desert, and I understood through very harsh means what it is to be a content creator specifically tied around a class. One of the things which I always didn't like was that the only way for my channel to grow was to actually create Mystic content, because this is what people would be looking forward to. When I started making side pieces, when I did my very first lore attempt, I got a video with under 100 views. People just didn't care. YouTube wasn't helping me promote it, and at the same time, the algorithm, it just buried all of my attempts and efforts for side content. A lot of this is because of just the natural interest when it came to my name being Verdict and the community calling me the Mystic Guy. So, the Mystic Guy is, of course, a badge of honor, don't get me wrong. The Mystic Guy is something that I will always be super proud of, because you guys have put me in a position where you trust me more than anybody else for Mystic. But unfortunately, that confined me at the same time. See, when you're in BDO, we are fighting for small little spots within a very already tight space, and I guess I was occupying Mystic so hard to the point where I actually asked ChatGPT once. I asked him, in the past 4 years, how much Mystic content was it created? And I had to ask him a few times because it just didn't want to put the effort in, but it gave me a rough estimate between 8 to 10 million views. Now, I've been doing content creation for this time, and then I checked how much views I was making for Mystic content, and I was making about 2 million views of Mystic content, which means that I roughly own 20% of the directory, which is a huge, huge, huge thing. So, the Mystic Guy, as confining as it is, was something that I had to move away from, because I really just didn't want to be only looked at as just a Mystic player. And if the price of that was views, then so be it. And we moved away from Mystic. I'm only doing Seraph right now, and I'm no longer doing guides. A lot of the reason for which I stopped doing guides is because I just don't want to fall into that trap again. That is the truth of the matter. So, moving into the second part of this segment, the Verdict channel, and how the content moved away from that, I started doing almost exclusively lore videos. It's going to be on a very rare occasion where I touch upon a social topic within our community or something along these lines. It would be very, very rare, and I try not to go out of my way to do it. So it feels free when I do this. It feels like I am precisely where I have to be. And for the first time ever since I started this channel, I actually feel like I have a community, which is a very interesting thing. You know, as guide makers, we are tools. People just come into the guide, they check the particular part, they remember who makes it, but they're not a part of a community. It's inflated views, is the way I like to describe it. But ever since I started doing lore content, I feel like I have an engaged community with me. The same people are coming around all the time. They want to engage with me. They want to have a conversation with me, and they're so eager to learn the lore. They're excited. I feel like the community's hearts are ablaze when I do lore content, and it feels to me like people notice that I'm super happy when I do it. It's not a day passing by without someone listening to the lore podcast or to my lore content. They're watching it on Twitch all the time, and it's so absolutely stunning to see how they get excited because I get excited. It's contagious in a sense, and it feels like it's creative content to me. In Black Desert, there is little to none creative content. A lot of this is because the game is really restricted when it comes to allowing people creativity. It's something that I spoke with Pearl Abyss, and many people have spoken in the past with them. And creativity is a very big part. And this short story that I'm using the funds for from the content creator code and everything that I'm making off of this channel is also that creativity. And speaking about creativity, the third segment of the channel update is actually about my second channel, which is the Grimm Verdict, with my very good friend Grimkill. And Grimkill is just one of my favorite guys. He is such a nice guy. I love him to death. I genuinely feel happy and blessed that I met this person. He is one of the kindest souls I have ever met in my entire life, and I couldn't think of a better guy to partner with to share that love, especially because he wants to know. He is a guy that just loves lore, and the moment I shared lore with him was the moment where Grimkill felt more in love with BDO than ever. And I could say the same for me and for everybody else that has been watching the podcast. But we have recently resumed it with 2 very strong episodes, and one thing that's very cool to notice is we are slowly and steadily getting people's attention, and they're actually reaching out themselves wanting to be a part of it, which is a little bit of a whoa moment, because it seems like people are slowly and steadily starting to recognize the impact of lore. They're understanding that ambience is important, and to understand what you're doing with this game and connecting with it on a story level is rejuvenating, exciting, and it's something not yet explored within Black Desert, which makes it, not that it's new, but it's new for the people. It's something that they haven't touched yet. And for a game that is, constant circles, this is something absolutely important for us right now. And Pearl Abyss themselves are put more pressure and emphasis upon lore and themselves, respectfully, than ever. And I can confirm to you, out of having conversations, that there's so much in store coming in the future. Speaking of the future, Crimson Desert. See, Crimson Desert was it was very iffy in the beginning, but it looks very strong now. It feels to me like all of the delays, all of the work, from all that I have seen, all that they have showed, is just good. And I feel like Crimson Desert is going to be having a positive impact upon Pearl Abyss and its future. Yes, in the past I had a say. It was just an objective point, what if type situation. It wasn't a negative connotation say where I said that if Crimson Desert fails, then Pearl Abyss are going for sale. That's not me wanting PA to fail with Crimson Desert. No, that is, I hope it doesn't happen. I hope that it just simply succeeds, because I want to see Pearl Abyss move Crimson Desert forward and Black Desert forward. And speaking of Crimson Desert, of course, I'll be covering it on the main channel. We'll be doing podcasts, episodes on it, and that is something that I'm very, very excited about. So the final bit of the segment, which I kind of hope that you guys skip, but for the people that want to hear me talk about my real life, now is one of the very few and rare occasions where you're going to hear about it. But I still kind of hope that you don't. The reason for which I'm sharing this is because I don't really have a lot of people to share this with. I live a very, I guess, a life of solitude. I don't really have a lot of friends in real life. I have a few, and I feel like I just want to get some things off of my chest in regarding why I moved towards lore, because the underlying reason for it is actually a profound experience which I've had. Last year, 2025, was pretty much the worst year of my life. 100%. I don't think at any given point in life so far I've had a worse year. I separated with my ex, who was the love of my life, the woman that I planned to marry, the future mother of my children. It was a horrible experience one time where I had to go to the emergency room and I almost died. I had a severe kidney crisis. I had a kidney infection. I had a flu type A, 40 degrees Celsius temperature. And on top of all, I had an allergic reaction from one of the medications which they gave me. I never knew that I had an allergic reaction, but I almost damn near died in that hospital with so many issues and complications. So I remember what made me do what I'm doing right now, and this is being just a positive person, just not causing ruckus, not paying attention to any negativity anymore, specifically within BDO. See, as I was feigning in and out because of how brutal the pain of a kidney crisis is, one of the things which I remember was at one point in time, it felt like my life was flashing before my eyes. The pain was so unimaginable to the point where I almost felt like, and I kind of almost made peace that day, that I'll probably not make it out of that emergency room. So one thing that I remember was basically fainting and then thinking about the YouTube channel. And I had a little bit of a regret that I couldn't make this video out. In my mind, I was gone. And I was thinking about, I couldn't finish this video. And the video was actually a lore video. It was my final attempt at that moment to just make my last lore video and simply just never pay any attention to lore anymore and just continue to do the content that I usually did. And I felt such regret that I couldn't finish this video and that in my mind I was pretty much gone. To the point where at that particular moment I said, God, if you let me die, I will live in regret. Sorry, I will go with regret because I couldn't finish the one thing I was exceptionally passionate about. And as I said this, I literally opened up my eyes and I was already in care and I was coming back to it. And it was a few hours of people being around me. So that happened to me. And I had a profound realization that if I wish to be a good person, that I have to live like one. And I have to just be here to ignite people's hearts with passion and love. And when I say Verdict loves you, you guys need to understand that that is not just a name. So that's a profound experience which I had, and ever since then I stopped making all guides, stopped making every content with negative connotation. I stopped engaging with things that worsen my perspective, and I started cleaning up my life very, very hard. I got rid of all communications with past people, real life people professionally. I gave forgiveness to the one which I believed were deserving, and especially to the ones which I believed they weren't. I no longer believe in this drama content creation. I don't care about what people say. I know one thing, that if I were to have another episode like this, I would rather know that I have you guys excited and had you excited than had you guys upset with my opinions. And with that being said, this is the final bit. This is the end of the IRL segment, and I will see you soon. Rest assured, guys, I will see you soon.